If there's one thing Dynasty owners know, it's that you never overpay. Well, when it comes to selling your home, real estate is no different. If you currently own a home in Iowa or Nebraska, then I want to talk to you. I am the only licensed realtor in the Heartland that allows my sellers to choose what listing package works best for them. Whether you want your home to be listed with the first round package that has all the bells and whistles, like a complimentary home warranty and a free lawn care service, or if you simply want your home listed online and sold in days like a rookie breakout, then you need to call me at 402-990-1564. Again, that's 402-990-1564. I am Justin Williams, and I am a proud member of the Southwest Iowa Association of Realtors and sales agent for MP Dodge Real Estate.
Welcome to the Dynasty Dads Podcast. Football, rankings, debates, dad stuff with your host, Justin Williams and Matt Renshaw.
And welcome everybody to this edition of the Dynasty Dads Podcast. I am your host, Justin Macho Man Williams, and with me as always, Matt Renshaw. Matt, how are you today?
I'm good. Do you know that people like I was on a different podcast this past week, and I was literally referred to as Matt Renshaw.
Absolutely, you should be.
Like, so it's catching on. It is catching on.
Is that how your wife addresses you anymore?
No,
Oh,
that's
God.
not how. No, no. My wife. Actually, I don't know if you have this problem with your kids. Your kids might be old enough. When my wife calls me Matt, my 2-year-old repeats it as Matt. So we're mom and dad to each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not. There's no confusion on what to call each one of us.
I'm going to give you the heads up right now.
Okay.
In, like 3 days, we got WrestleMania,
Okay.
and I'm a huge dork. I like wrestling. I'll admit it.
I'm not as big of a dork as you, but I watch it.
Absolutely. You're going to be over, right? You're going to come watch it?
I'm going to come watch it with
We
you
got
guys.
a couple other friends coming to watch it. It's going to be a
Yes.
good time.
Should be
Really
fun.
small group.
Yeah.
But for this episode, since WrestleMania is Sunday,
Yeah.
I am going to throw in as many wrestling references as I possibly can this episode.
That's fair. You know what? I did not see that coming.
Nice.
See?
That's a good one.
I can do this.
That's a good one. I liked it.
I can do this.
So, as always, like we remind you every week, we are on iTunes. It's the best place to review us, rate us, and leave comments. And for every 5-star review we get, if you leave a review, we're going to read it at the top of the show. It's a free plug.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want.
Whatever you want. It's got to be school appropriate.
As long as it's within reason.
Right.
And it doesn't, insult me,
Or me.
just me. We'll read it out loud. No problems. You probably get bonus points if you insult Matt.
I hope not.
I'll be honest. Also, we have our website, dynastydads.com. Be sure to check it out. From there, we do live news and notes. We do the stream of the podcast.
Breaking
Breaking news. Bunch of other stuff. Check it out. Oh, let's see. I feel like I got to go through this whole rundown every week.
No.
Twitter is the place to be. We are at Dynasty Dads. Matt is always on Twitter.
I run the Twitter.
In multiple conversations.
Yes, I do.
And then we are on Facebook, and we're actually streaming live on our Facebook page at Dynasty Dads.
We've got some viewers. Hey, everybody that's watching.
What's up? So be sure to check us out. And with that being said, Matt, we got to start off with our kid stories.
Family stories. Easter.
We got to talk.
Easter. What'd you do?
We went over to mother-in-law's house for Easter.
Mother-in-law's watching.
You know, went over to the mother-in-law's for Easter, which was nice.
Yeah.
It was good. Got to see the other side of the family.
Mm-hmm.
Kids enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Took the kids, obviously. But my kid story that I wanted to tell you this week was about Carson.
Okay.
And we had them all signed up for soccer. And like I told you a few weeks ago,
disappointed that he's not doing.
It totally ripped my heart out.
Yeah, doesn't want to play football.
He didn't want to play football. He wanted to play soccer. Well, lo and behold, there's no coach that steps up for soccer.
No.
Yeah. And
no.
It's not going where you think.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the first thing about soccer.
Don't use your hands. I think is like the first rule.
I know you don't use your hands, and I know that you got to kick the ball in the goal, which is fine.
Okay.
Past that, useless.
Okay. Use your head.
Yeah. So there's no coach, and I'm like, this isn't going to work. So we take him out of soccer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, not where I thought this was going.
He's going to get into baseball again. We're going to do coach pitch.
Nice.
Yeah.
As a baseball guy, I can appreciate that.
Yeah, so he's pretty excited. We're going to get him his own bat this time, get him his own helmet, whatever.
Right.
So he's pretty pumped up.
Probably should get him a glove, too.
Oh, he has his own glove.
Oh, okay.
So he's excited about that. So while it's not football, I'm okay with baseball.
Yeah.
Like soccer, I was kind of like, whatever. It's just going to keep him in shape and get him better shape for basketball.
Right.
But baseball's cool, too.
So did you even mention football to him as a choice once you pulled him from soccer? Or
No,
you just said
because he's
we're
made
going?
it pretty clear he doesn't want to play football.
Oh.
So it's like, okay.
The tackle monster.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Being misused.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. So how about you? How was your Easter?
Easter was good. We traveled 4 hours, went to Mason City, spent time with the family up there. I was kind of, this is going to sound bad coming out of my mouth. So we did an Easter egg hunt, and Kyla's first Easter egg hunt was like, as a dad and football related, like glorious. So we had an egg that was shaped like a football, like it looked like a football, had candy in it. She waddled over to it because she was one and could barely walk, picked it up, said touchdown, spiked the egg, and threw her arms up in the air. And I'm like, yes. There was none of that this year.
Oh.
It was Poppy from Trolls.
Absolutely.
It was the Minions. It was open every egg as soon as you found it. My 1-year-old kind of played around with the eggs, picked them. So there was change in the eggs. Mm-hmm. So when my 2-year-old would open them and just leave change kind of sprawled out, my 1-year-old would crawl over and try to eat the change. So we had to watch out for that. We got back, hung out with my family, did an Easter egg hunt, another Easter egg hunt. The girls got spoiled with gifts. I mean, it felt like Christmas with the amount of toys and candy and plush that we have in the house now. It's like another round of Christmas.
You mentioned the Trolls, Poppy or whatever.
Yeah.
I just
Princess
finally got
Poppy.
around, like, I think last week to watching the entire Trolls movie.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
No, there's another one coming out. It's going to pain me to say this. I actually like Trolls. It's a movie that we could watch a few times and be okay. And now on Netflix, they have like season 1 and 2 of like an animated Trolls show.
Wow. I don't know if I could do that.
Well, we do that to change it up because watching the same thing, and I can probably quote a lot of lines from Trolls. After we've probably watched it 60 times.
Well, Matt, what do you say we just go right into news and notes?
Let's talk some football.
Usually we take a break, but screw it.
No,
I'm feeling
we're
a little crazy tonight.
different today.
Getting a little jittery.
Oh no.
So the biggest news we got to talk about is it's definitely Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks traded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. Second time in 2 years.
Who's next, right? I mean, to go from
I'm trying
Let's
to
see,
think
we
of
got
people
the
that
Saints.
traded. Yep.
the Pats, and now he's a Ram.
He gets to play with he's played with 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks and 2 Hall of Fame coaches.
2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks and 1 future Hall of Fame quarterback. Am I right?
No.
Am I right?
No.
Jared Goff?
No.
Uh-huh.
No. I'm assuming Goff is going to get some hype now, but the amount of targets, he's dropping so many targets to go from New England to the Rams. I mean, every offense that he's played in with the Saints and the Patriots were top 3 passing offenses. Last year, the Rams passing offense was 23rd in the league. He's not gonna. He drops significantly for me.
Yeah, he's. Would you go as far as to say the situation improved?
For who? Cooks?
Yeah.
No.
I think it kind of did.
No, it did not.
I think it kind of did.
As big of a Cooper Kupp fan as you are, how can you say it improved?
Cooks and Cooper Kupp are not the same guy. They're nowhere near the same guy.
No, you're right. But
They're both very different players.
I think both players' value takes a hit with the trade.
No, I disagree.
Why?
I feel really good about Cooks, especially in this offense. It's a great offense. It's going to be a full team with all the add-ons that they did with defense. So he's not going to be on the field longer than he really needs to.
But he wasn't with the
Jared Goff
Patriots
is
either.
developing more and more. The Patriots defense is not compared to what this year's Rams defense is going to be. They're not going to be comparable.
You're right. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. What I am going to disagree with you on is just because the defense is better doesn't mean that it's a better situation for him. If the defense is better, they won't need to score as many points. They'll run the ball more. It's a boost to Gurley. I don't think it's a boost to Cooks.
I think you've drank way too many Steve Weisers, and you just need to take a back seat here.
No.
And just think about it. Jared Goff is
Not a Hall of Fame quarterback?
yet.
Never.
Yet, He's in a great. Would you say he's not in a good situation? Would you say that he hasn't developed at a very quick rate here?
I think when Sean McVay stops calling his audibles for him, maybe we'll see what he does. But I think the head coach is what's running that team. You could put any quarterback in there and have success.
I think Belichick is running Tom Brady. We've seen Belichick.
Okay.
We've seen Belichick's offense be very successful with quarterbacks not named Tom Brady.
You are correct. You're right. I can't argue that.
Thank you. Thank you. That's usually the theme of the show. I guess you want to talk about Odell Beckham Jr.?
Well, no. So when the Cooks trade happened, the immediate reaction was, oh my goodness, the Patriots now have 2 first rounders, and they can go get Odell.
Oh, God. Here we go.
No, that was the
Trade
immediate
talk.
Yeah. Well, I know you hate trade talk and hypotheticals. And
I hate hypothetical trade talk because it hasn't happened, and the odds of it happening are low.
You don't think the Giants are actually shopping Odell?
I believe that they're like listening to the phone call, but that's what you do. You take those calls. Okay, what are you going to give us? But it doesn't make sense. He is top 3 wide receiver in the NFL right now, and
Fact.
he's very young.
Yeah, he's better than Jarvis Landry. I don't know how you can't.
Is he?
Yes. If you want to talk top 3, who are your top 3? I've got Odell. You've got Hopkins. You've got AB.
It's hard for me because it's like if Jarvis Landry was, if the roles were switched, I really think Jarvis could have had just as much production.
I don't, but we that's where we differ. Anyway, so that was the immediate thought, and it turns out now today I think it was. I don't know who put the story out, but it leads to some talk that the Patriots could be looking to use the draft ammo that they've gotten from the Cooks trade to move up and get a quarterback.
Maybe. It's possible.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think it's just Bill Belichick traded Garoppolo for a second. Now they've got an early second, 2 late firsts. I think they've got some ammo to move up if they want to get a quarterback. I don't think they should, but and then other breaking Patriots news.
What you got
tonight? Jordan Matthews,
That's right.
free agent.
You
man
love
crush.
Jordan Matthews.
I do love Jordan Matthews. I think Jordan Matthews is perfect for the Patriots. And you're going to jump to he's the Cooks replacement. He's not the Cooks replacement. He's the Danny Amendola replacement. He's the slot receiver that's going to catch a lot of passes and get PPR points. He's not the deep threat going to spread the field. He's the across the middle, catch it, get you 7-8 yards, first down.
I just don't think Jordan Matthews is really good. I mean, he might produce this year. I guess if there's ever a situation, it might be this one. But we've seen him in different situations. We've seen him with different offenses.
Never, ever, ever, ever seen him with a quarterback like Tom Brady or a head coach like Bill Belichick. If you want to say it's system,
Tom Brady is getting up there.
Yeah,
he's gonna fall off eventually.
He wants to play till he's 50.
Yeah, well, they all want to play to their 50s.
That's true.
Why would you say anything else?
Brett Favre would come back and play if anybody wanted him.
I'm just not gonna buy it. I'm not buying it.
Well, the CBS Sports put that story out. So Jason Canfora.
Cool.
That's a trusted source. It's not like it's just Renshaw tweeted that the Patriots are going to.
Yeah, this is an upgrade. At least you actually have your sources.
I have sources. I know how you got with that. So
the Patriots also signed Cordell Patterson.
Yeah.
And Troy Nicholas, who was a tight end.
That's actually a sleeper pick there. They signed Patterson to return kicks.
Ooh.
That's what they thought. They lost Amendola, who returned kicks, and they brought in Patterson. He was actually one of the better receivers in the league. Or not receivers. No, definitely not one of the better receivers. One of the better return men in the league.
Yeah. I think Patterson's talented. He's nothing more than that kind of guy. But
no, and he's a first-round pick. Like, isn't that crazy that late first-round pick?
Speaking of first-round picks, the Ravens signed Robert Griffin III.
Robert RG third time's the charm?
Yeah. Apparently he sprained his cheek from smiling. He definitely didn't lose his smile.
No, I get that one. Michaels. All right.
That's a throwback.
That is.
That's a throwback.
That's a reference. I don't know how they signed him for peanuts. What was it, like a $1 million deal?
That's nothing.
Yeah, so it's no risk. They can cut him and have. I mean, if he has success, great. He goes into a situation where he could play. Flacco's not good.
Now you might think I'm like Brian Pillman level crazy here.
I like what you're doing.
I think there's a chance.
I like what you're doing.
Only like 3 people listening will. I think there's a chance that RG3 starts a couple games in Baltimore, and has a chance to revive his career.
Okay, define revive his career.
Be a free agent, get signed somewhere
As a starter?
as a possible starter or a guy that's going to compete for the starting job.
AJ McCarron? Like that style?
Yeah, like that kind of guy. Yeah. Going to have a chance.
He tore his ACL twice.
Just saying, if you're in a league where you have to start multiple quarterbacks,
Yes.
and
Super
it's
flex.
kind of a deeper bench,
Yes.
there are much worse guys you can draft than RG3 at this point.
I would not disagree with that.
There's nobody to throw to, so like that's a problem.
Right.
But he might be able to show that he can actually play quarterback still. So
Maybe. There's no wide receivers there. That offense isn't set up for mobile quarterbaks, but maybe that's what he needs.
he's not much of a mobile quarterback
Right, that's
anymore.
what I mean.
Like
Maybe that's what
he's
he
shown
needs.
that lately. He just can't. I mean, in other news, there's not really a lot going on. Eric Decker visited the Ravens.
Like I said, they don't have any wide receivers.
Marquette King was cut, and now it looks like he's going to sign with the Broncos.
You're probably excited
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right there.
for the punter.
Yeah, and then that's really all I got. There's nothing else interesting to talk about. Am I right?
Who's the better punter, Randy Orton or Marquette King?
Oh, it's definitely Marquette King.
Okay.
I mean, absolutely. I like what you did there. But
See,
yeah.
I'm jumping in on the wrestling thing.
Yeah, you're going to try.
It's WrestleMania week.
That's cute. That's cute. Well, that about does it, Matt, for news and notes. Looks like we're going to shut down Facebook Live.
See you guys.
We're going to continue the show. We have a nice interview this week with the Mayor 05.
Mayor 05, Carlos.
Mr. Carlos, which that'll be fun. And yeah, that's really about it. Kind of a short episode this week, huh?
Hey, you know what? It's that time. We are gonna have something. We're in development of something that'll also drop tomorrow. So we'll leave that little tease for listeners.
Yeah, you're definitely going to want to follow our Facebook or our Twitter.
Yeah,
Excuse me, that's where the Twitter's going to be. We have a little bit of a mock draft happening tomorrow,
Yes.
but it's not what you would think.
Yeah, it's a twist on a staple of mock drafting.
Yep. All right, so stay tuned after the break, and we will be right back with Carlos.
Looking for your next favorite podcast? One that will teach you how to make millions with Bitcoin, help you lose those extra stubborn pounds, or make your spine tingle with a murder mystery? Stop searching and let Podable do the work. Podable is the only podcast player that learns what you love and recommends podcasts just for you. Import your favorites automatically and instantly discover new ones. Find your next favorite podcast today by visiting us at podable.co or download our app in the iOS App Store. That's Podable, P-O-D-I-B-L-E, and discover your story.
All right, Matt, we have our guest of the week here. It is a longtime listener,
First-time caller.
first-time caller, great content creator. He's all over the place,
Yes, he
especially
is.
on Twitter.
This is Carlos. This is the Mayor 05 on Twitter. Anybody that's listened has seen, listened or interact with us on Twitter has seen the interactions. He's been with us from the start. I mean, from the hot take it or leave it to different fantasy takes. It's kind of cool to have our first longtime listener on the show with us. So, Carlos, welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome.
Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks. Yeah, the hot take it or leave it. That was my first go in the Twitterverse. So I thank you guys.
That's awesome.
A
Hey,
lot of fun with those.
So, Carlos, I understand that you write for a couple of different sites. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah. Like I said, when I first joined the Twitter world, the fantasy football world, and you guys were one of the first follows I had, and then got picked up with the FFD 260 guys who were gracious enough to let me tag along and write a couple articles for them, and now writing for DynastyHappyHour.com. They also have a podcast there. I just got my second article up tonight with those guys. Most of my stuff is my love affair with certain fantasy players. So it's you can tell it's very personable, and I get into it.
I'm with you. I know one of your loves. I mean, I can't give up Dez either.
I can't let him go. the worst part, most embarrassing part is I'm an Eagles fan, and I can't let Dez go.
Yeah, you're from Pennsylvania, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So Carlos, I know this. You're a dad just like us. You want to tell us a little bit about your family?
A girl dad. 3 girls, Cameron, Jordan, and Bryn. My wife, who is the girl I chased since the 7th grade. We're about to have our 4th daughter in July, so we're calling it quits.
Wow.
Not quite going to get the basketball team, but
that's okay. That's you'll take half of a softball lineup or a starting 4 in a basketball team.
We're calling it quits, but yeah, definitely a girl dad. So braids and dressing Barbies, and
I'm right there with you, man. I got 2
dress up clothes all the time. That's that's my life.
2 girls and lots of pink.
Yes, pink and purple.
So we're talking rookie running backs, and I think the obvious place to start is everyone's consensus 101, Barkley. So Justin and I have talked on other podcasts, on other episodes too, where he's going top 5 in startups. Is that to us is crazy? What do you think?
See, this is a lot of the times I'm always calling myself a homer, and I'm from Central PA. I'm buying it, and it's because everybody I'm with, everybody I'm talking to, they're taking them 1.
Like 101 overall?
I buy it. Oh my goodness, yes. I just finished 2 mocks with some guys at work, and I thought I was going to get Barkley at 7. I thought I was going to get him at 8 and another one. And I lost him at 1 and 3.
Wow. That's just the guy hasn't played an NFL down. I get it. I get that the hype is real. Like and he's measuring out of the freaking park with all of his stuff from the combine, and his tape doesn't lie. But holy cow, that's ahead of Zeke.
Almost everyone, Matt.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of like who are the 5 guys that are going before him is my thought. Because like why there's got to be, I could think of at least 10 guys I would take over Barkley in a startup right now. No?
Oh,
it's kind of a hot take because of how many people are actually taking him 101, 102, 103.
Which is nuts.
It is
to me.
happening. It
just goes to show you with running backs, dime a dozen. There's so few elite ones that everybody they're willing to reach.
Yeah.
At extreme values too.
Like if he goes to Cleveland and joins that crowded backfield, like that his value takes a hit. Yes?
No.
No?
No. I think a lot of people are making these moves envisioning him in Cleveland.
They just signed Hyde. They've got Duke Johnson.
Look what when Fournette went to the Jags, I know everybody was really high, well, not everybody, but I know a lot of people were super high on Fournette. Then he went to the Jags, and he still produced just fine for a rookie running back.
Right, but he didn't have to share the backfield with 2 other proven guys.
No, yeah, but he was better because he was better than everybody when he went in there.
Yeldon took a back seat real quick to that, and so did Ivory.
No one thought Ivory or Yeldon were anywhere near the level of Leonard Fournette. And this would be the same thing with Barkley.
And that would be different there because then Duke obviously becomes expendable.
I don't know if I'd say expendable, but Barkley is clearly better than Duke Johnson.
Yeah, you can get rid of Duke if you have
definitely.
Barkley. But like they're paying.
They just gave Hyde that contract.
That's what I'm saying.
They draft Barkley. They're going to go with Hyde and Barkley.
And they're paying him what, $5-6 million a year? Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know why. I mean, and maybe it's me looking at it from a fantasy perspective. Duke Johnson produced as a top 10 fantasy running back last year.
Oh, I'd rather have Barkley and Duke than Barkley and Hyde.
Yes. So okay, so you're buying that top 5 startup. I mean,
I'm buying it, and then like some of the formats that I'm in, like my biggest league right now, I have the fortune of having Gurley and David Johnson. I have the 101 pick. I'm not trading it. I'm keeping him because he's going to be my 10-year guy, barring injury. But you say that with everybody.
Yeah. That's quite a stable of running backs there. So
I had to hold on to both of them through injury. So
yeah,
I'm in a good spot.
So let's get off of the Barkley train here and kind of talk about some other guys. Who's your? It seems like in consensus with everything else we've got out there that Geis is 2. Who's your 3-4? Because that's where it starts to kind of get muddled with everybody else.
Well, and that's when I'm a stat guy, and again with like most of the stuff like that you're ever gonna see of mine that I'm writing, like I'm drafting with heart, I'm drafting with stats in mind, and you can't go away from Nick Chubb. I mean he's right there, and I think he and his back mate at Georgia they can be flip flopped either way, 3 and 4.
Yeah.
But there's one guy.
You mean Sony Michel, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. The fact that, I mean, you look at his stats and the limited time that he has, and he can relate. He can be easily relatable to any backfield in the NFL. And then I'm sure you guys saw it. And I used to hate this, but now I'm buying into it. Only in a fantasy perspective, but I used to hate when people would say, he's the next this guy. He's the next this guy. This is who he's going to be when he comes out.
Right.
And they put him up there with Kamara, and then you watch the tape, you watch the games. He kind of reminds you of Alvin Kamara last year.
Yeah,
So,
and I think that recency bias plays in there because before, I mean, when Alvin Kamara came out, he wasn't being compared to Darren Sproles or anything. I mean, there was no. Everyone saw what Kamara could do and went, "Oh, Sony Michel's really similar to that. Maybe we can catch that lightning in a bottle that the Saints did."
right. Hype train.
Right. Yeah. If you're asking me, my running back 3 is Chubb. I mean, hands down, I am just that's who I'm going with.
Yeah, and when I think Chubb, I'm picturing him saving the backfield of a team like Green Bay or something.
That's
I
an
think
interesting landing spot.
I think he is the most NFL ready of the majority of some of these rookie running backs coming through, and that's why if he would fall to me, like I said, I had a 107 in a startup. If he would fall to me at 07,
Oh yeah,
jumping.
Yeah, you're scooping them up. I mean, most leagues I'm expecting them to be gone by 3 or 4.
It seems that way with most with the majority of the ADPs that I've seen, and there are so many of them around. You can reference any of them, but he's gone early.
Yep. So,
But
go ahead.
my five was the guy that I'm embarrassed that I didn't know the stats that this guy put up, and that just it took me. It sent me in a whirlwind when I dug into it a little more once I got past senior year.
yeah.
But I mean, listen. The guy I'm talking about for number 5, and I have him over everybody. And I would even jump in a if you put me in a pressure situation, I'd probably take him over 1 or 2 of these other guys other than Barkley.
Yeah.
Last year he finished with 1475 in rushing yards, 16 TDs. His freshman year, 1365 and 18. Sophomore year, 1836 and 17 scores.
Who is it?
It's the kid from Oregon, Royce Freeman.
Ah.
I fell in love last night.
You got to be careful with that college production, though. It's not the same.
Well, and that's why I'm saying I spend a lot of money on tickets on hype trains. I love hype. I love hype, and then when I see stats and you combine everything, I jump.
No, it's definitely something to get excited about. I mean, it's hard to ignore what these guys have done on the field statistically, and those are numbers that jump out at you 3 years in a row. So
Right.
I get the hype. I really do. It's just you gotta. I don't know. You gotta look at more than just statistics, in my opinion. I'm sure you have.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, that guy absolutely deserves some hype, and he is being. A lot of these running backs are kind of being ignored right now.
Not the top name guys.
Yeah, the guys that aren't at the top 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Man, they're not being talked about at all.
Justin, do you have a later guy that you like? Not one of the top 3, 4.
I'm starting to like Penny a little bit from San Diego State. I know I gotta look a little deeper, but from what I've seen so far, if he gets in the right spot, though, I mean, I don't think it's unfathomable. You know what I mean? I could see it happening.
He put himself on the map in that Senior Bowl game.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yep. He went nuts, and he showed that he's top tier, and anyone would be lucky enough to get that guy too. I think he is an NFL ready body. I mean, the combine he showed out too. I think he did a 4.46.
That sounds about
Something
right.
like-
Yeah, pretty close.
I mean, big. He's that same size as Barkley and Geis and Chubb. It's just when you go to a San Diego State, that's the other thing too that I look at. I mean, I know you have your tape and you have your combines and everything, but I mean, San Diego State sitting behind somebody. I mean, look what the guy that he took a back seat to did, and then look what he did in the NFL.
Well, true. Matt, let me throw that same question back to you. For late round running backs or later running backs, do you have a
I have a crush, I guess. That's not a guy that I'm like selling out everything for, but I really like John Kelly coming out of Tennessee. He's my mid to late second round running back that I like, and I'm sure that all of our listeners that are in leagues with us are going to know that and use it against me in the rookie draft.
Absolutely, I'm writing this down now.
So I like John Kelly. I've seen some of his tape, and I liked what he did at Tennessee.
Is that EY or just a Y?
That is just a Y.
Well,
Just a Y.
Just a Y. Got it.
John,
Thank you.
John.
Got it.
So yeah, he's my late round guy, and I also like Akron Wadley, but that's an Iowa thing. I've seen him play. Yeah. So I mean, that's more of a I'm around the area. I've seen him there, but those are my two guys that I like. I think Wadley's probably a third round guy that you can get mid to late third, maybe even if you only do 3 round drafts, pick him up.
Draft Wadley in second.
There you go.
round.
There you go.
Got it.
So
The John Kelly is a good one, though. I mean, again, I'm a Gator fan. I saw him run all over us.
yep. So let's see. Are there any? I mean, we've talked about some of these guys. You said you were a big Royce Freeman fan. Is there a landing spot that you want to see him in? Like, is there anywhere you go, yes, I would love him there?
Well, it was there was one particular spot, but then it got seriously overhyped and overpaid, and that's where McKinnon ended up. But because I thought he would do wonders, I thought he'd fit perfect out there in San Francisco. But now, it comes down to where's he going to fit, which right now, like the landscape is so crazy. What I just heard a rumor Howard might be gone from Chicago.
Yep, I've seen those.
That'd be a great spot for him. And then getting spelled by Cohen if they actually use him right.
Yep. I'm trying to think of some off the top of my head. I think Tampa Bay could use a running back, but if Barkley falls, I think they scoop him up at 9.
Denver. Denver has a whole lot of mediocrity.
Yeah, that's true. So. I've honestly never considered Denver taking him. So that could. Yeah.
I heard wild stuff about them even getting Barkley at 5.
That'd be nuts.
I think the Bengals are waiting on somebody.
A running back?
Yeah,
they have Mixon and Bernard.
I think they're waiting on somebody.
You don't think Mixon?
I like Mixon a lot. I feel like they're waiting on somebody to kind of take Bernard's role. I think Bernard is just kind of like okay, and they're okay with it. I don't know. I feel like if the right guy falls to them, they're going to take him. I don't think they're afraid to pull the trigger on another running back.
Wow.
Just not going to be a first or second rounder. Somebody later.
Wow, I guess that makes sense from a standpoint.
I think they're ready to move on from Bernard.
Well, they just lost Hill.
Yeah, and that's a win.
Hey, John Kelly for Cincinnati.
There you go. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad fit. So we're talking here landing spot. So last year the draft class, the running backs were huge. Hunt, McCaffrey, Fournette, Cook, Mixon. Yeah, and it seems like there's a lot of running backs being talked about. Now, are we starting to see kind of a revival of the running back relevance in fantasy football?
Yeah. I mean, the proof is in the pudding, really. I mean, look at the bodies of work from both classes. Well, at least what we're seeing. Right. And then the trend that you're seeing in ADP, what we talked about, Saquon going 5 in startups. I mean, and especially because the NFL, the product that they're putting out there is a 2-back system for the majority of teams. Right. So I mean, it's the coveted position. I mean, quarterback is always, but
I'm thinking
you're going to forever have that with the quarterback position, but running back is like you're trying to find gems in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round that you can pair with your 1st or 2nd and your high paid guys. So yeah, I think the 2017 class is much, much better than the 2018 class.
So if people want to buy into the hype that these guys are throwing up, I'll gladly sell my 18 picks for some rookie running backs from the 2017 class. And you're wowing that. So is that you don't agree with me?
I just don't think I don't think you can fairly compare them. One whole class has actually played, the other hasn't.
You're right. And I'll take. I mean, that's True.
There are people out there. There are people out there that would argue with you that Barkley is better than any running back in the 17 class.
Okay, yes. I'm not saying that Barkley's better than or worse than everybody in the 17 class, but I think the class as a whole is a lot weaker than the 2017 class. I don't think. I mean, Hunt, McCaffrey, Fournette, and Cook are all going top 20 in startups. I don't think 4 of the running backs in the 2018 class are in the top 20 next year.
I get what you're saying. I really do, and I don't think it's a fair thing to say. That's all.
We have to wait for landing spots in April and before
absolutely.
This is going to be a very good topic and conversation piece in 2019 when we're comparing the 17 and 18 because I think it's going to be that close.
Wow.
And to go back a minute, Matt, you talked about how we're seeing a revival. I don't know if it's really a revival. I just think this is more. I don't know. We're getting to where we were, I guess, and I guess that's kind of the definition of revival, if you will. But it's better, right? I mean, it's better that we have all this youth coming in.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's just with these running backs, they're not going to last.
I just don't hear I know 2 years ago the zero running back strategy was like the number one trending thing on Dynasty Twitter, and you don't need running backs to win, and da-da-da. Well, now we've got all these running backs coming in that are producing and winning teams leagues. I mean, last year, if you had Gurley, you probably won your championship.
And you know that I've been a strong component of the running back for 3 to 4 years.
Yep.
I've heard that from other podcasts and other people that write, and I buy into it. You have a great elite running back, 3 years, you trade him. Doesn't matter how good they're doing because
you mean fantasy-wise? Fantasy-wise,
okay. Yeah. Because the odds of them continuing that level of greatness for what you can get in return for value, it doesn't make sense. You trade them. I'm a guy that traded David Johnson. I'm a guy that has no problem trading Todd Gurley this year.
Yep.
It doesn't matter.
You're right.
So I don't know when you trade those guys at that peak of that 3-year window, bam, you're going to be top 2, top 3 pick in your rookie draft. Take another running back.
Yeah.
You're recycling.
Yeah. Rinse, repeat. That's all it is.
Yeah. It is a revival, and because you think of like with the draft classes or where you had Sanders and Thomas and guys like that and Emmett the following year. Like I mean, you look at the hype that's surrounding this draft and it's Barkley. I haven't felt this draft since 2007, and that was the year Peterson came out, and there was nobody in that draft class.
Right.
So like to see I mean I think the next running back that went off the board was Marshawn. And then it was
and
then the third running back taken was the 49th pick, and it was the kid from Auburn, Irons.
Yep.
So I mean, it is coming back, and I mean I get what you're saying with the rinse and repeat, but it's harder for me. I'll hold on to these guys till they fall apart. I couldn't sell Adrian Peterson in my first fantasy league because I held on to him.
Well, that would be one that actually worked out. I mean, it doesn't work every time. Adrian Peterson was a guy that had many years of success. I just think we're in a different era of the NFL.
Definitely. But I like it. I like the hype of all of these guys because, I mean, yeah, you could have a list of 20 guys that could have some sort of impact, and that's not going to happen, but just the hype around it and the depth at that position here. I mean, we're only talking about 5 quarterbacks, and we're talking about 20 plus running backs. That's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, Carlos, that's all we've got for questions. I'm going to let people know how to find you on Twitter, where to follow you, how to interact with you, read your articles. What do you think?
I'm at the Mayor 05. Again, I'm writing for the FFD 260, and you can find my newer stuff on dynastyhappyhour.com. And I also have my own little side project that I'm doing with some friends of mine. I'm actually a contributor with you guys.
Yep.
Allie is my partner in crime there, and it's a different take on fantasy. We're having a little fun this year. We're actually doing the first ever Women of the PFL Fantasy Football League, and just it's again another fresh and fun take on how girls are actually drafting and what's pulling them into their certain players and positions. So PFLDynasty.com, at PFL Dynasty on Twitter. But I'm all around, like you guys said. I'm everywhere. I'm having fun with this.
Hey, that's how. I mean, we both started the exact same way, just interacting with people on Twitter, and then we kind of threw something together. So we're glad to see you growing. I personally follow the PFL Dynasty Twitter, and you guys are throwing out some good content.
Thank you. That's the goal. We're, like I said, it's something just having fun, and again, I owe you guys a big thank you for letting me contribute and tag along and be a part of your show. But it seems like every week is getting better. Now I feel the hype and the love like from last week. I feel like I'm what was that, Scott Fish Jr. right here. I mean, I feel like I'm somebody in the Twitterverse and in the fantasy football community now. So thank you guys.
You should, Carlos. We're kind of a big deal. So.
Hey, I agree.
Well, thank you for coming on the show, Carlos. You're welcome anytime. I'm sure we'll have you back soon.
Awesome. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yep.
Well, Matt, there you have it. The interview with the Mayor 05 on Twitter.
Mayor.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
I'm gonna get my vote in.
That's cool. Long time listener. having him on the show.
Yeah, definitely the Intercontinental Champion of listeners for us. That's for sure. Has a bright future. Faux show.
Is that your wrestling?
Intercontinental Champion?
That's your wrestling comment about that?
Man.
Could have been done so many things. Could you smell what the mayor was cooking?
I know. I could have sprinkled a little bit of gold dust on it, but I wanted to keep it easy.
I mean, come on.
But
Yeah,
Matt,
I mean, it's all about the money.
But Matt, who's next? Next week.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, we're getting out of control. Okay. So next week, Matt, we have yet another guest that most people are not going to know.
Yes. But this one is on social media.
He is on social media for sure. He's a dad. We know that.
He's a dad. Yes, he is.
He's been a long time friend and companion of ours.
Fantasy league mate.
Yep. And even though most of the time we dislike him,
That's true.
he can be somewhat annoying in text messages, especially ones with groups
And trade offers.
and trade offers. He definitely does know his stuff.
He does. Yes, I will give you that. He does know his stuff. Now he might overwhelm new people to Dynasty or the leagues that we're in, but
Well, that's just because with all the offers he sends them to try to vulture their team. But
he does know his stuff. I will give.
he
you
absolutely knows his stuff, and he's a good dude. And he's going to be on the show next week. We're not sure if he's going to be live in studio or if he's going to be via Skype like the rest of them. But Nick Robinson
Nairobi.
is definitely somebody that everybody should want to listen to. He's going to have plenty to say, and I'm sure he's going to come very, very well prepared.
Yes, he will.
I'm talking notebooks filled.
Yeah. Arguments. He's probably writing down arguments that he can have with each one of us.
Absolutely. He's already writing comebacks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got to prepare.
But before we close out the show, Matt, this is the running back show. We promised people running back talk. I think we need to talk a little bit more about, well, running backs.
The running backs. Okay. This rookie running back class?
Yeah.
This vaunted 2018 class that you like better than 2017?
Yeah. So I don't want to talk about Barkley anymore. I'm kind of Barkley'd out.
That's fine by
You know
me.
what I mean? Like,
I'm okay.
it's-
Barkley's 101. We know Barkley's 101.
Yeah, everybody's talked about Barkley. He's been covered to death. We get it. He's 101. If you don't think he's 101, you're wrong. Like that's where we're at this point. It's a consensus 101. Doesn't matter where he goes.
Correct.
Who's your number 2?
Guys.
Yeah.
Without landing spot. I mean,
I know landing spot might change it a little bit, but like, yeah, I'm with you. It's between Geis and Sony for me.
Oh, it's between Geis and Chubb for me. And landing spot may affect it, but I'm pretty confident Geis is too. If Chubb just lands somewhere where he is the clear-cut RB1, like let's say Geis ends up with Tampa, I think I like Geis more than. Or backtrack. If Chubb ends up with Tampa, I like Chubb more than Geis. If they both end in good landing spots, it's a toss-up. I'd probably go with Geis. But I really, really, really like Nick Chubb.
And I can't blame you. That top 4 it's just such a weird situation where after 1, those other 3 are just neck and neck.
I was on a podcast this week and I said between pick 204 or 104 to 204, talent's all about the same to me.
I agree. And when you look at these guys compared to the wide receivers, the quarterbacks, and the tight ends that are going to be coming in this rookie draft, I think these guys should be your first 4 off the board.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a wide receiver that should be involved. I don't care what your need is. You trade down if you have to.
What about landing spot for wide receivers? Doesn't matter.
No.
So let's play.
I mean, it matters, but compared to those 4, no.
I know you hate hypotheticals.
Absolutely.
Who's your wide receiver 1? I know this isn't the wide receiver show, but who's your wide receiver 1?
Sutton.
Okay, let's say Sutton ends up in Dallas, and post-draft Dallas cuts
love that.
Dez.
I hope they don't cut Dez.
I hope they
love
don't
it
either.
more with
But
Dez.
this is the hypothetical. Sutton is the clear-cut wide receiver 1 in Dallas. Is this your
give me
top?
Sony, give me Chubb, give me Geis.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm happy to have Sutton. If I'm in for whatever reason a situation where I am desperate at wide receiver, move down.
Yeah. I would
Get
agree.
something. Get something. Even if you're moving down a spot, get a second round pick next year. Scare everybody. That's why you never show your cards.
Right.
Kind of like what Matt and I are doing right now.
Don't have a podcast and tell everyone what you think.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of. That's one thing that if I can go back and look at all my leagues, I wouldn't have told people where my rankings were and this and that. Now it doesn't really matter. We play in so many different leagues, it's whatever.
Right.
But Ronald Jones, Rashad Penny, Royce Freeman, those guys have to be.
Oh, one of those guys clear cut for me ahead of the other 2.
I'm not going to be surprised if 7 weeks into the season we're saying, man, I can't believe we didn't take Jones or we didn't take Penny or Freeman over Sony, Chubb, or Geis. It's just not going to shock me.
Rojo is ahead of those other 2 for me.
Yeah,
I like Rojo.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
It's fun to say Rojo.
For sure.
Rojo Raleigh.
So let me tell you a little bit about their current ADP.
Okay.
So this is off of dynastyleaguefootball.com,
DLF.
and this is just running backs only.
Okay.
Barkley, Geis, Chubb at 3, Sony at 4, Ronald Jones, Penny, Royce Freeman, Johnson, John Kelly, Ballage. That's your top 10.
Okay.
Anything wrong there? Do you agree with that? Is that pretty consensus for you?
Yeah. I can't. I mean, I can't argue with where they're ranked now. Pre-draft, like I said, the landing spot's going to matter, but I don't think it's going to matter. Like you said, the top 4 are pretty solid. The top 4, 5, 6 maybe have some wiggle room, and 7 through 10 could play a role in landing spot, but they're there for a reason.
God, I have just a strange feeling about John Kelly, man. I really do.
I like John Kelly. I mean, I said that in the interview.
I know. There's something about where he's going and the value there is. I think that's going to be a really popular sleeper running back pick for everybody.
I agree. He'll get bumped a little bit, kind of like Kareem Hunt was last year. I don't know if he's a first round pick, but I could see that bump coming, especially when Hunt got the bump when
Do the bump.
Who got hurt? What's the guy?
The bump.
The irrelevant running back in Kansas City now.
Bump. Spencer Ware.
Spencer Ware. When Spencer Ware got hurt, Kareem Hunt saw his value boost.
Spencer Ware is such a buy right now, by the way.
We've talked about that.
Such a buy. I can't wait for the rookie draft to be over so we can actually talk about these teams.
Right, landing
their
spots.
full rosters and just really go back to the players that are forgotten because every year we forget about players.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spencer Ware is going to be one of those guys.
Dude, we have 3 weeks.
Same thing with Austin Seferian-Jenkins. I totally missed the news. He's a Jag.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I missed it.
Dude, how'd you miss that?
I missed it.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like it. He bumped Niles Paul from the starting tight end job in Jacksonville.
Too extreme.
Yeah. He sent him through a table. Through a table.
Get the table. No chance. That's what you got. So I'm looking at just the regular ADP. Before we go, we're going to close out the show. But here's let's do top 12.
Okay.
Saquon Barkley. This is overall, not just running backs.
Okay.
Barkley, Geis, Chubb, Sony. So we were right there. That's their first 4 running backs. Seems like that's consensus.
Yep.
Then it's Sutton.
Yep.
And then we got a couple more running backs. Ronald Jones, Rashad Penny.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Number 8's DJ Moore, which is getting a lot of hype right now. Calvin Ridley at 9.
Let me stop you.
Go ahead.
You're looking at March's data.
Yeah.
I've got April's pulled up. There's been some changes.
Well, we're so early into April, though.
I know, but it's interesting to see that in 5 days that we've had some changes. Sutton's 5, Rashard Penny 6, DJ Moore is 7, Ronald Jones dropped down to 8.
That's a couple drops.
Yeah.
A couple spots.
Yeah.
Calvin Ridley at 9, I'm assuming.
Yep.
And then we have James Washington.
Yep.
Royce Freeman at 11.
No, Royce Freeman bumped down to 12.
Who's at 11 for you?
Christian Kirk jumped up.
Yeah, that's 12 for me. So
yeah, like I said, those late picks may switch a little bit, but it's not gonna be a whole lot.
Christian Kirk should be a fun one. That's a guy that needs a good landing spot.
James Washington, I really like. I mean, there's some people, the wide receivers. This is the hard thing, and I know we're not talking wide receivers, but there's so many different rankings with all of these 5 just in completely different spots as the number 1 guy. Some people say DJ Moore. Some people say Ridley. Some people say Washington's the number 1 guy. Sutton. I mean, it's all over the place.
Let me tell you something, brother. It's time to close the show. That's it. We're done. Next week is going to be great, though.
Next week, I'm looking forward. This week was fun, but at the end, I always look forward to the next week's show.
So next week, we're going to recap the special mock draft that we're going to start tomorrow on Twitter.
Yes.
Which is going to be great. We're at Dynasty Dads there.
Check it out.
And that draft is something you do not want to miss.
No, do you remember the daddies?
Oh, do I remember the daddies?
Who doesn't remember the daddies?
Possibly, I think it's fair to say the daddies put us on the map.
I think it did. I think that was our.
We got a lot of love for the daddies.
Well, this is our.
That sounded weird.
This is the same. I wouldn't put it like comparable to the daddies, but it's right underneath of it.
Don't sell us short. It's going to be right there.
It's a good. I'm looking forward to it.
Dynasty Dads on Twitter. That's twitter.com/Dynasty Dads. You're not going to want to miss it.
No.
Turn those notifications on.
That's right.
And then next week we are also going to talk to Mr. Nick Robinson.
Yep.
Like we said. Great dude, kinda, but knows his stuff.
Nairobi 03.
And we're going to recap the wide receivers.
Yep.
And also on next week's show,
yes,
Matt and I are going to do our first ever live mock draft.
Yes.
Back and forth. It's the week before the real NFL draft. We're going to get hyped up. We're going to go ahead and take turns picking players, rookies, back to back to back to back to back to back to back. And we're going to be all laughing at Matt the entire time.
No, that's not true.
That's very true.
No, don't make me give you a Sacco. Like, that's not true.
Matt, I will throw you off this Hell in a Cell right now.
Oh, that'd be glorious.
Shout out to everybody that watched. That's a good one.
Thank you.
Shout out to everybody that watched us on Facebook Live at the start of the show. Thanks for coming out. We're going to do that every week from here on out. We're going to do Facebook Live, stream at the top of the show.
If you don't follow us on Facebook, get on it.
Yep.
I had someone say, I kid you not, I got on on someone's video and they're like, Renshaw, I didn't know which Dynasty Dad you were. Like, I didn't know which one. Your picture is cool, but I didn't know which one you were. So if you don't know which one of us is which, turn into Facebook Live.
Faux show. So that does it for the show, man. Unless you got anything else you want to say.
No. I'm like, we've kind of hit everything this week. I'm looking forward to going a little deeper into these wide receivers that we just talked about and the draft.
Why don't you hit me with Mr. Nick Robinson's Twitter handle for next week? And while you're doing that, thanks again to the Mayor05. Again, that's at the Mayor05. And Nick Robinson next week is
at NIROBI03, Nairobi.
That's right. So until then, take care. Enjoy WrestleMania.
Mania.
God
bless.
Thanks for hanging out with us on another episode of the Dynasty Dads Podcast. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes and follow us on Twitter at Dynasty Dads. Visit us at our website, dynastydads.com, for articles, news, and notes, Dynasty Dads gear, and more.